Welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Biz, and then look who's back. Jason Juggling J. Ford.
Yeah.
Welcome back, dear buddy.
Hey, thank you, buddy. You don't look like you're refreshed.
Oh, no. It's quite Wadham in Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been quite a few long days over the past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Was a long night last night with the women's national team returning back to the island.
Yep.
At the airport. Obviously, we'll have coverage of the Bermuda Day Half Marathon with interviews with the two winners. The Junior Classic, interview with the male winner. Obviously, a lot of cricket played over the weekend. Somewhat.
Some good.
Yeah. And
some bad.
Yes. And of course, this coming Saturday, we'll see a swimathon at the Bassapool, and that's to raise funds for the Merthyr blocks, starting blocks at the Bassapool. But we're going to get to all of that and more after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home.
Well, before we get to anything, Jay, how was the trip?
Obviously, too short.
You mean too short?
Too short.
You're back.
My point. No, but obviously it's always nice to just get a refresher, because obviously coming in as soon as I landed, really was back hitting the ground. But also, we've got a lot coming up in the summer. Not only in my other side of the music life, but also the sporting life. Obviously, we've got the cricket coming up. Eastern Counties, the Cup match. So it's time to just take a break, come back, and get your brain ready, because obviously for us it's more or less grabbing stats, looking at storylines, and just making it build up towards Eastern County and then eventually Cup match.
Sure. Well, last night, Jay, at the LF Wade International Airport, the women's national team returned home after a successful run in Guyana. Coming off with 2 wins and a drawing 2-2 with Guyana, defeating Barbados 3-2, and then defeating Suriname 1-0, and then having to hold their breath because Guyana had defeated Suriname 6-1.
So the goal average.
Yeah, it was +5 for them and +1 for us. Then we obviously won the game 1-0, and we sit on eggshells. And for 94 minutes of football, because it was 4 extra minutes of injury time, Barbados did the business for us.
Well, this is one thing. Sometimes you sort of root for the host country.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this. We were Barbados.
We were bashing all day.
He looked like St. David's, yellow and blue.
Yeah, we took off our red and blue and put on some yellow and blue.
Sure. But we got a chance to meet with the team when they arrived at the LF Wade International Airport. Let's get the interview with...
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, thank you for coming to welcome our girls home. We are very proud of their accomplishments. We're not going to take much time up. I know they've had a long day of traveling. Obviously, they had a match yesterday. But on behalf of the executive of the BFA, I want to say thank you for your hard work. Yeah, just the beginning. Obviously, we're due to the next round. We will celebrate, but obviously more hard work to be done. Yeah. So I'm going to call forward the coach and the skipper to have a few words, and the media will have some questions for them. You nervous?
Yes, good night. Again, I'll reiterate what the Vice President said. Thank you for coming out. This is fun. It's the norm now. We're making a great habit of this. Last night was intense. We wanted to watch some of the game, but the lights went out in the stadium, and we thought it was best to get the girls out of there and go back to the hotel, which everything happens for a reason, and we were meant to go back and sit around the pool and enjoy an intense 90-plus minutes waiting for the result. These girls worked hard. Our window was very, very short. It's a really good working group. We saw a lot on this tournament, a lot of the things that we need to work on, that we're going to work on. There's so much potential in this group, and if they put their minds to it, they're going to be able to achieve many, many things. And I've told many of them on this tour, patience, because there's a great group coming behind them. And so you're going to see this and experience this and have this feeling very often in Bermuda, because this is just the beginning. And parents, I strongly advise talking to your girls, talking to them about focus, talking to them about what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of work. And we do start training on Wednesday. I will give them off tomorrow. That's it. And we will be back to training Wednesday because, as most of you know, we are off again on Monday with the 17th, so there won't be any training next week unless I could convince Maurice to take them. Yeah, I see him over there. A big grin on his face. He's happy to take them and put them through the paces so that we can continue with this momentum. Again, thank you, ladies. It was a long week. Your parents should start paying me to take care of these girls. But no, it was fun. These girls have grown up. They've been with the program a long time. And so we definitely see growth. And we're looking forward to the next round, wherever it may be, and whoever it may be against. We fear no one. And we will definitely win the next round as well. I'll hand it over now to the skipper.
Good night. So we're really excited about this tournament, about what happened. We put a little stress on ourselves yesterday. We made it a little bit more complicated than it had to be. But overall, in the end, we got the job done. We got our 7 points. We're on to the next round. I'm really proud of these girls. I'm really proud of everything that they put into this tournament. We had a short amount of time, and the effort was there, despite us tying Guyana on Wednesday and then having a good win on Friday, and knowing we were all hurt after we only won 1-0 on Sunday, but we all knew that we still had a chance, and even though it wasn't in our hands, we were all remained super positive, and I appreciated that so much. Sitting by the pool and waiting for those 94 minutes to go by was probably one of the longest things I've ever had to do in my whole entire life. But I'm happy we had that experience, and but hopefully we won't have to do it again, and we'll make it a lot simpler for us in the next round and just get the points we need to do to move on.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Jay, on a hot, warm, humid Friday morning.
Frying morning.
Yes. The Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby took place with Lamont Marshall and Nikki Butterfield running to victory. But they weren't, to be honest, they weren't the only winners on the day. Anyone that took up the challenge and got across the line, they were all winners. Regardless who comes first, who comes last, if you set out to accomplish a goal of getting to that finish line and you do that, you feel like you won your race.
And that's what running, basically long distance running, is all about.
Yeah.
I mean, you put out a personal time. You just try to achieve it. Most, especially races like that, if you're the casual runner, you're just running to see how you can manage your day. And then some days you can, and then some days you can't. Right. Especially with the heat that was out there, it was a bit tricky because you have to stay hydrated, but you don't want to be waterlogged either.
Right.
So, as far as Marshall, I mean, he's at the peak.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tyler picked up that
Calf injury.
Injury. And realistically, it's not too much other competition.
Right. Currently, yeah. Yeah. I could see that changing in a few years'
It's going
time.
to change in a few years with Chase Smith, Sean Trott.
Yeah.
Good to see Sean Trott back out.
Back out, yeah.
Yeah, and a few of these other guys. But, for this year, and that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes. You're in a peak situation and other guys ain't. So,
right.
No knock on all the runners, but right now Lamont is on a good fitness level.
Yeah.
Now, obviously we'd love for him to get that 110, to get to that cash incentive, but the heat, I think just the total of the heat and everything.
Basically,
and once he couldn't get it, it's like, you know what?
Security win.
And play safe.
Yeah. Well, let's get some of the highlights from Friday's Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby.
This is by far like the worst I've felt. I struggled the entire time, but if I had to do it all over again, I had to go out ambitious, man.
That was Lamont Marshall after winning the 2018 Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby in a time of 1:14:41. Marshall was attempting to run under the 1:10-minute mark, saying,
I went for it. I really faded bad on the last half. I knew that after maybe mile 5 or 6, and definitely coming over to the backside of Burnt House, just security win. I started to panic, even look back. I didn't know who was on me. I knew that anybody, if they would have come up on me, would have caught me, because I just, like I said, by far, all the years I've run, I've never felt this bad. My warm-up was a little sluggish. It just wasn't my day. But, I mean, if you ever feel horrible and still win, it's a good day, I say happy just a security win.
Did the humidity have any effect on how you were able to maintain today?
No idea. If I had company 9 times out of 10, it probably would have beat me, man. Like I said, I really struggled today. It's tough though. Like in all the years that you do it, sometimes you're gonna have those horrible races. But I mean, I still, like I said, came out with the victory. And you have to be ambitious. If I did it all over again, I would still wake up. And if I felt sluggish, I would go out 5:15, 5:20, and try to hold it. Because I mean, you have to. I'm gutsy. It's not my first win, so in 2016 I was far more cautious. I really wanted just to secure the win. This time it was just like go for the time. And I think in years to come, I have a lot of growing to do in this distance. I'm just glad to secure the win.
How does the crowd help you, especially coming through town and then onto Cedar Avenue?
It was really good. I mean, like I've had so many friends, family, and support. All the phone calls, social media, and they really, this year, like I said, I had a lot of interviews, and a lot of years I've broken records and haven't gotten that support, and this year I was just great. I felt as if the race was sort of surrounded by me, and it was good. It was a humbling experience, and now, like I said, it's good to have these bad races where you can build off it. You can remember that, hey, everything's not perfect. You still have a long ways to go, and you can improve.
Your thoughts as you approach the finish line?
I just got close with the win.
All right, well, congratulations. Ian's trying to get you. Sean Trott was second in a time of 1:19:08, and Seamus Farron rounded out the podium, stopping the clock in a time of 1:20:40. Running the race for only her second time, Nikki Butterfield was crowned the female champion, stopping the clock in a time of 1:33:20, finishing 22nd overall. Butterfield, the wife of Bermuda Olympian Tyler Butterfield, explained she's got some advice from her mother-in-law about what to expect during the race.
I was chatting with Debbie last night, and she said, I just would be controlled until after Burnhouse Hill, and then I'd let it go. And so I was hoping to run with like Dion and Christine and have us all together until Burnhouse Hill. And I guess they kind of looked at me to set the pace. And we just all kind of ran together and up, Burnhouse Hill. And it was really, really hot for that first 5 miles. And then I just thought, once I got up that biggest hill, I just let my legs go from there until town. And then there's just an amazing crowd at Johnny Barnes Corner. That lifted me again. And
Butterfield was followed across the line by Christine Daly, who was 27th overall with a time of 1:34:07, and Martina Ocheski-Bell was the third female finisher and 30th overall with a time of 1:35:12. Butterfield did take some time out to congratulate last year's champion Dion Burry, who crossed the line 41st overall. Butterfield had a plan and a strategy to get through the race.
Tyler told me there's a couple things I was looking out for. A few years back, Chris was in first, Marsha was second, and Tyler was third. And just coming through town, he was lifted by the crowd and ended up being able to catch Marshall, just in that last couple miles. And so I thought, I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to use the crowd to stay in this position, And the crowd, everyone talks about it, but until you're out there and you kind of forget about it. It was maybe 5 years or something ago that I ran it last time, and so I was really excited to be supported by Bermuda. Thank you.
Here comes somebody else. Somebody else behind him.
Well, Jay, also Friday morning was the Junior Classic race. 20 years of sponsorship by Lister Agency. Close to 100 kids were involved in the race. Let's get the highlights and the interview after the Junior Classic race.
It's Marshall.
Jesse?
135. All right.
That is the target to be there. I will say that Mike Watson would have been moved to the distribution.
122. 266. 120.
Send him down and shoot. Keep moving.
150.
Oh, Curry!
128. 111 to that side. And then 118.
Lean back a bit. Then you look, they're right up there, and they even pass the person you expect to win the race. So you can't underestimate when the field is so tight, especially in the women's division. So anything
269.
Jason Simon.
278.
David Stewart.
101. 278. And the first female is 126. Yeah. 115, 109, and 268. 125, 107, 103, 137, 138, 122, 131, 133, 136, 134, 280, 113, 112, 124, 145, 273, 147, 275, 129, 146. 276.
Street vendors in Harlem, fresh out of college, and set out to bring the healing traditions of old natural African black layer and shea butter to their community.
281.
New fragrant bath Nubian heritage bath
106.
business of coconut, Abyssinian chia,
And 119.
and African black silk. Windows, place house. When the mood takes you, turn up the music and turn the lights.
272.
Steve finishing.
144.
Anthony Richards finishing.
And the Logel is 121.
This is good. It's steady. Yeah, I don't think we'll have any.
Jada Brent just finished.
140. 139. And 102. 109 and 105. 277. 114. 132. 148. 116 anyway. Okay, 116 anyway.
Okay, call them to me now. I've got 167. Although Earl's got his the telephoto lens. Good eye. All right, Dennis! Well work, man. Well done, you guys. Something honey from this way. From one over there. They had to be able to have done it in under 20 minutes. So this is brilliant. Sometimes we wait
Ryan Heisen.
Come on, honey. Well done. Go get your medal.
Oh, tell me, it looked easy, but was it easy out there?
It was very humid and hot, so it was very hard in that concern. But yeah, it was a good race.
You wanted to set a tune and get out in front. Did the plan work to perfection?
Yeah, exactly. I got a good lead right from the start and just held that all the way to the finish.
Any thoughts coming down Cedar Avenue? I need to slow it down. I just need to keep the pace. I need to do something different.
Yeah, I was getting tired about that point, getting really hot. So yeah, I just took the pace down a little bit. I knew I was ahead, and I just tried to just keep on going to the finish.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Now, who's going to be the future champion out of these 100 kids?
It's hard to say. I mean, we've seen some of those junior runners become champions of the senior race. We've seen some of these junior runners just go away from the sport. You know, we don't know. We don't know.
But the thing is, Earl, that's the thing. They were motivated by somebody.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
for them to take it up and run, and realistically, to run when you're in crowds.
Yeah. It'll be new to a lot of kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're running the Front Street Mile, you really don't get to see these many.
And even in Front Street Mile, it's dark, so you could hear them, you don't see them.
You can't see them.
Yeah.
This,
But
you
you
can actually see
actually,
them.
from the time you start, the crowd closes in on you.
And you can feel the energy. So
Yeah.
this is something that, like I said, a once in a lifetime, and some have ran many times,
Mhm.
but they would never, ever, ever forget it.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to all the runners, juniors and seniors. We look forward to next year's race coming out of the East End, and hopefully that 110 can be chased down. Let's go to cricket, Jay. This past weekend, we saw Premier and First Division cricket on both Saturday and Sunday. Want to talk a bit about Western Stars and a bit of a rebuilding stage. Unfortunately, rebuilding in the Premier Division, struggling with numbers, struggling for scores. On Saturday against Southampton, I think they made 61. And then on Sunday against St. George's, they made 91. They're struggling to get 100 runs in games. But I would say this, I see 11 every time.
And the game's over by 3 o'clock, so they got something to do after the game.
So true. That's the plus out of it. So any team they're playing against can look forward to 5 after 3 doing something else.
If you're going to watch them, go early.
Wow.
Catch first ball. No, all jokes aside. No, it's when you look at St. George's and Western Stars coming up, you would expect them to pick up a few players because they've come into the Premier Division. And you hope that they were held on. Obviously, St. George's probably just the opposite of Western Stars. They picked up a few players. The Stars lost more than they needed to.
Right.
When you see the likes of Andre Documentus, 50 plus, getting out there.
In the past few weeks, they had Randall White.
You
know, who I haven't seen is Jacoby.
He's been off island.
Right.
10 to 12 issues.
Oh, okay.
So he will be. He used to be around. Obviously after the carnival season.
Yeah. Well, at that time things might be a little different.
Well, it'll be a little bit different, but also it'll be a lot harder too.
Right. Yeah.
But no, it's just unfortunate because there are a couple of youngsters around there.
Yeah, they had Jamori Manders, who's I believe 15, playing behind the stumps yesterday. I mean on Sunday. You have youngsters in Seth Campbell. Jaden Manders. You have a bunch of youngsters playing.
But that's just real young.
Yeah.
And it's the transition is not like they haven't gone through transition before. The thing with Western Stars, when they used to go through these transitions, a lot of the ex-players once again came back.
Yes. Yeah.
helped out. So
Yeah.
that's why even now you see Doc Mendes still willing to
Mm-hmm.
help out.
Oh, you got Jacon there now.
So it's definitely it's gonna be a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not helping their cause is playing twice on the weekend.
Right.
Some of these guys are working Saturdays,
Right.
and I'm not going to give up a Saturday and a Sunday.
Right. Right.
So that doesn't help. Were they consulted prior to the season about the scheduling? I don't know. I mean, something probably could have been said because they're not the only one who's struggling to make numbers.
Right. Right.
We're seeing teams not even feeling 9 minutes at
Mm-hmm.
the start of the game. You know, and it's you know, I know Somerset has an issue, but a lot of their issues is youngsters who are away in school. And
Right,
stuff. So there's
right.
a little bit different
Yeah.
dynamics there.
They'll have players coming back into the field very shortly, if not already.
But let's go to the defending champions. And they have 3 victories
Mm-hmm.
on paper.
Right.
But when their coach, I said Doc Mendes is, going 50. George Cannonier's got to be
knocking what? Late 60s.
That's got to say something, Earl. That's got to say something, Earl. I mean, mind you, Chris Douglas back on the island, and obviously he's going to help with the numbers, obviously.
Right.
But still, when George Cannonier has to play for the defending champions, I'm a bit concerned.
Well,
because I know what the intentions of, obviously, hopefully, the extra games or double games. I know what the intentions are. For the most part, I believe is to obviously more cricket, a better standard, get to a better standard. But if we play more cricket with less intensity, bad habits, not feeling the 11 men, are we doing ourselves any favors?
Well,
In that aspect.
no, not at all. But I think what has to happen is you have to play it out, evaluate it, but not just say one season, oh, it didn't work, because
I totally agree with you on that side. And I'm not talking about the format.
right. I know what you're talking about. I agree with
numbers. Period.
But that comes down to a club issue.
And what I'm getting at is how much consultation was
With the clubs prior to yeah.
expressing maybe their lack of numbers in preseason.
Right.
How much of a preseason did they have?
Yeah.
Some guys don't really do preseason. They just come. So do you say, okay, well, do we pull our cricket? But then as soon as a week comes, we got 20 guys. I mean, there are some issues.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but it's a bit concerning because we're at the end of basically a month of cricket. In about 5 weeks or so, or less than that, you can be talking about guys getting called for cup match. If you're not playing against decent opposition,
right,
from a week-to-week basis, what type of game you expect to see a cup match?
Well, I mean, there's 6 teams in the Premier Division, right? One of the teams basically is out of the running, right? So when you say decent opposition, right now, there's only 2 teams undefeated. Primarily, who have they played?
Well, so they have pretty much played Rangers, but at the time they were depleted.
Right.
Bay.
And Somerset.
And even Bay has been depleted.
Yes, yeah.
Their player coach had to play yesterday.
St. George's has played Stars, Somerset, and Bay.
With Somerset depleted.
Right.
Stars.
Yeah. So when you turn around and you say, okay, give it another 2 weeks, those so-called depleted teams should be at better strength. I wouldn't say full strength. But then how long does it take for those players to adjust?
Like I said, for me, it's the quality of the game itself. The quality of the game itself.
That's lacking, I think, several reasons. And you brought up the case of more cricket. But it also, at some point in time, you have to look back at the individual who wants to play.
Yeah.
What is he doing? What is he doing to prepare himself?
See, and this is where football or every amateur sport has basically gone through this because of there's so many other distractions now, so many other sports.
Sure.
Kids will be involved in. You used to think, when the seasons change, your sport change.
Yes.
Now most of these sports, once you play all year round.
Yes.
And they try to keep you there. So, in saying that alone, that plays a role in it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna. I don't know. I'm just concerned. I'm not saying throw it out to.
Right. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of concern in all corners of the island regarding.
I've literally not this Sunday, yesterday. I almost had to call around before I went drive. And I just happened to be in town about 3, matter of fact. It was just going 3 o'clock. And I was up by Salters Grammar School. And I see a guy from Western Stars who was big on his back.
And he had been
on a bike.
Yeah, he had been waiting around for another half an hour.
So he had to change his clothes, he had to get his bike, and so the game had to be over.
It was over around 2:30. Yeah.
And this I'm not talking about that one game. It's I went across a couple of fields. Okay, all right. It's not like it's just over. It's been over.
Right.
So that's where I'm concerned about, because the things that gonna take for it to get in a better position. Let's look at the economical side of it. The economic side of it. When you look at it, it's gonna take some money.
Yeah.
Let me say money. Programs, coaches, this, that, and the other. How does these clubs offset these?
Well, the one thing, and I'll go back and say it, the one thing a club would invest if they see the interest there. And most clubs are saying to themselves, look, I can't even get guys to come training.
I think most clubs ain't got the money to invest.
Well, but the point is, if
outside source might help the club to invest.
Right.
But a lot of these clubs ain't got that money to invest.
But it makes it that much more harder when you don't have committed people.
A lot of these clubs are struggling to get balls.
Well, that I know. Yeah.
So I can't see where the actual money's gonna come from coaching this, that, and the other, where you're struggling to get game balls.
Yeah.
So if we can't afford game balls,
hey.
And I think a report probably needs to be done on the financial side of what a club has to endure for cricket, and to see what's viable.
Right.
And I'm good with this, right? I'm good with this. Just the simple fact of how much money would a club save if it was back to white clothing and a red ball, compared to 2 kits, 2 different balls?
Oh, I know that was bantered around as well, which makes sense.
So, and when I'm saying, when these clubs are struggling, that's a cost.
Right.
With nobody coming through the turnstiles paying money.
Right. But you know what the funny part is, Jay? All these clubs got new gear.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The players want it. The players want it.
All of them got new gear.
Oh, yeah. Players want it.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody in India and on the islands
making some money. We can't get balls, but
like I said, I would love to see a report done. That's all. Because, we can throw something at the wall and see what sticks. But until you get some physical numbers in front of you to say, okay, you know what, this is how we could probably make out here, because just saying we're gonna play more cricket to improve it is not gonna be as simple as that. It's not gonna be as simple as that. And your buy-in's gotta be, like I said, from not only the club but the players too.
Yeah.
And we talked about something for the national squad. A players' union of such.
Right.
Obviously, there's nothing like that for the.
Well, if it's a players' union, it would start at the club level. It wouldn't be in the national program.
But you see
it would just elevate to the national program.
So just even one voice representing players.
But Jay, let me just say this: that bantered talk of a players' union.
It's been talked about many years.
Yeah. But it only comes up when there's one issue, and then it dies. Someone within that realm has to take the bull by the horns and run with it.
Okay, so, and I agree. I do agree. But you know, and I know, right? There is a bit of mistrust
amongst the players.
And the governing body.
Yeah, but you don't need the governing body to form. You just need to form and then inform.
And this is what I'm saying. So without that education between, right?
Well, you could always get the Constitution.
But I say when they get the education between, how many players? Just take one club. Just one club alone, right? These players, a lot of these players, actually they even pay the dues for the club.
Yeah, well, that's another something.
So how far do you think they can go in talking about Constitution and these things where done? Come on, man.
But then don't complain when things happen.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking at the personal side.
Right.
I'm just looking at the structure.
Structure, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if there are not people willing to put the structure, things in place.
When you start talking money, people pay attention.
Yeah.
People start paying attention. If you just tell me programs, but if I tell you money, then it catches everybody.
Oh yeah, everybody's attention.
And that's why I'm only saying start with something. And who knows? It may have been done.
We just don't know about it. Yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Jay, from the cricket field to the swimming pool. This coming Saturday, Bassa will host a swimathon. I had a chance to interview Nicholas Patterson, who gave us an idea of what is in store, and I volunteered Jay to do a few laps. So let's get the interview with Nicholas Patterson. Nick, you have a swimathon in a bid to raise funds for new blocks at the Bassa Pool, Salters Pool. What will people expect from swimmers, and how many are you hoping to come out?
Yeah, so we have approximately 140 swimmers registered with Bassa. We're hoping to get a majority of that to come out to the swimathon. And we're hoping they'll show up 2 or 3 times throughout the day, put in as many meters as possible. I know I have some swimmers aiming for 30,000, 40,000 meters. So there's some big goals. Hopefully all the swimmers will make them.
Now there's a cost for, or you're asking for donation for each lap that people are doing. Are there people trying to outdo each other as far as laps wise to raise as much funds as they can?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have prizes based on how many meters swam, but also how much money raised. And yeah, typically for swimathons, it might be a dime a lap or a quarter a lap. And then when you get 100, 200 laps, that really adds up to be quite significant.
Now, the blocks have been there for quite some time. Is that the only thing that you're looking to sort of refurbish?
Yeah, so those are the main That's the main goal. If we have leftover money or we go above and beyond the goal, then BASA the board will have to meet and decide where they want the additional funds to go to.
All right, well, good luck, and we'll be there to see you do some laps.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, Jay, that's what we have for the Digicel Sports Show. I know you always got something for me, so what you got?
Highlights, Ralph. We can go back to cricket. One thing that I tell you I wanted to see if it transferred from the open play to 50 overs was guys batting long. And it feels like, I can't remember the last time we've had this many centuries so early in the season.
Yeah, and teams are batting 50 overs.
All right, so, I got to highlight what I see.
Yes, and one thing, and you're right, because the stats don't lie.
Don't lie.
They don't lie. If teams are batting 50 overs, rather not like on Sunday, St. David's batted 50 overs. No, I'm sorry, Rangers batted 50 overs and got 191.
Yeah.
So they're batting out the overs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you look at it, bat the overs out, defend your total.
And even the game with Bayless Bay and St. David's.
Bayless Bay batted the 50 overs.
Yeah, and St. David's barely.
Yeah.
Well,
they had.
They were in trouble like 20.
But they had 9.3 overs to go because they got their runs in 40.3.
Yeah.
So they had overs left. They were just falling by wickets.
If it wasn't for the 20-something run
29 run partnership, George and CJ.
Yeah, but that's what you also want to see.
Right.
And that's why I'm encouraged in that sense. Mm-hmm. One thing like me, I try to see both sides.
Yeah.
I love to see when there has been improvement in certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, young Marcus.
Yes, 52. Batting at AHL, which is a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Batting way down the order though, but
still,
it is what it is. Showing that, no matter where you bat me, if you need me, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Pink Hurricane.
Oh yes, Jessica Lewis stood out this past weekend, winning the gold in the T53 100-meter World Para Championships. Mm-hmm. And that was the 100. Mm-hmm. Won the silver in the 200, reaching Pan American qualifications in both. So she's on her way to the Pan Am Games.
Are we going?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll wait and see.
And also, we had spoke about Dej Miners and Mr. Rosa.
Yeah, Dej, Tiara, and the day before, Dej made it to the final. Shaquille unfortunately didn't. Mm-hmm. He missed out. Shaquille missed out by 0.018 of a second in making it to the final. But a good season for him. Mm-hmm. Dej did go to the final, represented, finished 5th. Tiara DeRosa, at one point in time, she was in 3rd, but finished 11th, her first collegiate year, making the NCAA Division II national championships a huge deal for her. I mean, to compete in front of that many people amongst the best collegiate Division II athletes, what more can you ask for?
And finally, I had the pleasure of playing on the Avenue. Cedar Avenue for Bermuda Day.
Yes.
And we had 2 sporting organizations as entries.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Motocross Club.
Yes.
Also the Motorcycle Club.
Okay.
And to see some of the youngsters on their little bikes, go through our city. But for them alone to be riding on the road, and it's something that, even though they race at the track, but to be in front and show off on everybody, and show off the gear and the bike. And one thing I did like about it, Earl, especially because we see, especially those sports, they're expensive.
Yeah, very much so.
Very expensive. But one thing I've loved about those 2 sports, you must see a father with every kid.
Yeah. They're there.
There's not like drop off and I'll come back and get you.
Right. Because 9 times out of 10, the father's a mechanic.
And is into the bike, is into the stuff.
Yeah.
But to see the
connection
between it and you know, hey, and I'm saying, you know, man, that is special for our young boys, man. That is very special for our young boys. So I got to see firsthand, and I know one with my boy Herbie, his little boy Herbie Owls. And his little one, he had his red costume on. I can't costume, but it's good.
Yeah, okay.
He was getting up and he was revving up. It's just like, he loves the track, man.
Right.
I think this is probably the first or second year there. So, obviously, hopefully they can get more sponsorship down there. And I think they had a race there yesterday, matter of fact.
Sunday, yeah.
So, hopefully they can grab some more sponsorship because they are doing some great stuff for our youngsters.
Sure. Well, folks, that's it for the Digicel Sports Show. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and Juggling Jay.
I'm back.
Have a good night.